Have you ever noticed that two people can have the same income and one reaches their financial goals while the other consistently is wondering, where did my money go? Because almost every purchase begins with one of three different conversations, and the words you choose dictate your next actions.
Today we're going to talk about the three conversations that have made the most difference in our family. Let's start with conversation number 1, the budget conversation.
A budget is far more than just numbers on a piece of paper, because all those numbers represent are your intentions. But if your actions don't follow your intentions, then the numbers mean virtually nothing. And that's why the budget conversation is incredibly important. Now, this is important even if you do not have a partner. You still need to have budget conversations because the numbers that you write down are important, but saying them out loud is even more important because your brain hears and interprets that information and gives you the impetus to follow forward with your actions.
That's why every Sunday, Hope and I sit down and we have a budget conversation. This way we plan our budget for the next week. We make sure that we know where our money is going before it just up and disappears on us.
Here's an example. Groceries, you gotta eat, right? We intentionally say, how much money are we going to spend on groceries this week? Then we map out what groceries are we going to buy, what goes down on the list, where are we going to grocery shop. Things like that, planning them intentionally well in advance are going to help you to stick to your budget.
That's where intentions become actions.
Our weekly budget meeting takes us about 20 minutes and sets the tone for every single financial decision that we're going to make in the next 7 days. Now, if you'd like step-by-step instructions, we created a workbook for you, and we're going to make sure that that workbook is linked in the video description.
Once we started having budget meetings, here's what we discovered. The best budget that you might have written down and planned for will not work if the conversation in your head isn't running along with that budget.
And that's why you need to regularly have conversation number 2, which is the identity conversation. Years ago, we saved $30,000 in 20 months on an income which was about $40,000, and we had 4 sons at home. Now, that was a very difficult goal. One of the things that we found out, though, was early on, even though we'd gone through our budget with a fine-tooth comb and we'd figured out where we could cut back, the biggest difference was not in those written numbers. The biggest difference was in the conversation that we were having not only with each other, but inside our own heads. Because we could very easily have said, you know what? I just don't think we're going to make it. But we did not allow ourselves to fall into that. Instead, we repeatedly said, we are going to reach the goal. And that one statement became the benchmark for every decision that we made. By creating a filter that you run things through, what happens is that your actions begin to follow because your brain begins to understand this is the identity we're working from right now. The identity is we are going to reach this specific goal.
So that is becoming the most important thing that you look at before you think about anything else in terms of that budget.
Because you remember we talked about the 2 people that make the same amount of money. One reaches financial goals, one has difficulty doing that. One of the things that may be a stumbling block is the fact that the second person is consistently telling themselves, it's just $1 here, it's just $5 there, it's just $10 there. They don't have any firm financial goals, and they are telling themselves, I'm going to have a hard time living within our means.
Or they might even be telling themselves, I don't think we're going to be able to meet this goal. Well, if you tell yourself that, you won't meet the goal.
Now, let us be clear on one thing. This is not positive thinking. This is not think and grow rich. This is making sure that your actions are in alignment with that story that you are consistently telling yourself, because your brain is going to search for those cues, and that is what your brain is going to tell you to do next.
There's another conversation that doesn't happen quite as often as the first 2, but this can be the loudest and most dominant conversation in your head because it comes from other people.
It comes from family, friends, coworkers. It's conversation number 3, the social conversation. Now, we did a video last week where we talked about different difficulties with reaching financial goals. And we talked about social cues that cause us to spend money. That was the number one thing that people talked about in the comments section, how interactions with other people make them feel pressured to spend money.
It's amazing how many things your friends say can actually guide you in your financial decisions. One of the things that friends do is they might invite you out for dinner and have you pay part of it. Or it might be one of their birthdays and they expect something for their birthdays. It happens usually that there's an expectation where you have to pay some money in order to feel valuable for those friends and family members.
The challenge with this situation has very little, believe it or not, to do with whether the monetary amount is large or small. It has to do with the fact that when we say no, we feel like we are saying no to people rather than no to that opportunity to spend money.
Most overspending doesn't happen because somebody is forcing us to spend the money. It's happening because we like to make other people happy. We like to benefit them. So we feel like by saying no, that we're turning them down and we're disappointing them. This is where the crux comes in mind. But you have to refocus this on what are your goals, your financial means to do the things that you need to do, and you have to stick with that.
Let's just face it, sometimes you don't know what to say. But the good news is you don't have to make up your answer on the spot. You can think of it ahead of time. Here are some ideas for things you can say when you're asked to donate money or spend money.
The first thing that you can say is that isn't in our budget right now.
Another thing you can say is, let me think about that and I'll get back to you. That gives you that needed break to consider, does it fit into your budget or not?
Another one, I think this is a really good one, is you can just say, this isn't one of our priorities right now.
Or how about a simple, straightforward, I'm sorry, we'll have to pass this time. Tell us in the comments section which of these three conversations is most difficult for you. Now, if it is the social conversation, as we mentioned earlier, you are not alone. We dropped that video last week about the reasons we tend to overspend, and social pressures was definitely one of those, and it was the most cited reason in the comments section. If you haven't watched that video, you'll find it helpful because these two conversations really do go hand in hand. We'll leave you a link for that video.